A coach take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and their inner-city rivals, the New York Jets. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Set 30 base. Bravo! Check 53, check 53. Ready?
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
You go! Hey!
54, right there. 54, Mike. Bank it. Mike, go.
Throwing on 1st down, Lawrence. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
And he better be careful. Throwing in too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again, Lawrence. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 41-yard line. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
It's a giant 1st down on a gain of 16.
1st down, Giants.
Ready, break.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Jets' 20-yard line.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike. I got you.
2nd and 5. Finds his tight end Ingram. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Give the sack there to Jake Ryan.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
So this now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's third and long. Operating from the gun, Lawrence into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamal Adams, and he will take it out to the 25-yard line. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
6 guys. Check, lady. He's crashing. He's checking crack.
52 is the mic right here over there.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Oh, he's going to take a shot, and that's caught inside the 35. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 45 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Now it's Darnold, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Get in the weight room. Ready? Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
3rd and long, it's Darnold, and he's going to go down again. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying. And he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
After the made field goal, Maher back out there to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Looking to throw on second down. Lawrence. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
New York.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Set 90 Wolf. Hey, Foxtrot.
Pick up the ball. Mike, 53. 53, Mike. Let's go, D. Let's go. 53 is the Mike.
Hey, Delta.
No gain on this.
Snap.
On first down, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Drop deep.
On second down, it's Hill. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Hey.
And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Go.
On the 2.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
Here we go.
Well, partner, that's one of the problems when you sell out to stop the run on 3rd and short. Sometimes you break that initial wall and you go a long way.
So how do you prevent it?
That's tough to do. That really is tough to do. One of the things offenses like to do nowadays in practice, you know, they do a lot of working against equal numbers. They'll start putting more and more numbers on defense and just telling the offensive guys, figure it out, learn how to block it. We may see this situation.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Lawrence. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, switch gears.
Red 80.
80. Check 13. Slam.
Darnold. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, Make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
52's the mic, boys. 52. Cut.
Hey, do.
Check. 52's the mic.
To throw is Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Hey, high 7. Get it.
Throwing again. Lawrence. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Yep.
Mike 54. I don't think you got it, sir.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Hey, Echo.
52, Mike 52. It's a party now.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4.
And here we go. Watch the pass.
Lady.
Here's Darnold. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Watch Mike, watch Mike. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Throwing here on third down. Darnold over the middle, complete. That's Black. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
Ready? Switch. Ready?
Big ass, big ass, big ass.
Running from the gun, Johnson. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They picked up another first down with that run.
Johnson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the Giants' 35-yard line.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Mike, 54. Mike.
From the 35 on second down. Darnold to the right side and complete to Hurst. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Check Mike, 54. Mike, 54. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Chandler. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go, here we go. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Ready?
Mike 5-4.
On first down, Darnold. Johnson's got it complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
52, Mike, 52.
Silver.
Where's 52? Watch 52. 52's the Mike. Pick me up. Here we go.
Hey, orbit.
52's the Mike, boys. 52. Here we go, D.
Again, Darnold. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Pick it up.
Ready? Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. Come on.
Five.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Motion.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. He's going to go for it all. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jets will extend their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point by Maher, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and the Jets set to receive this third quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up.
Bravo.
52. You gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this?
Here's Darnold. On the crossing route, complete. It's Black. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pick up there.
First and 10 at the 48-yard
Watch the
line.
slack, watch the slack. Lady, watch the slack.
52 is the mic right here, over there, right? 52.
Go.
Screen, watch the screen.
52 is the mic. Mike 52, Mike 52.
Darnold on first down. Complete. It's Johnson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
He wasn't ready.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. To the air again, Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
Red 80. Where's 52? Watch 50.
Hey, exit.
52's the mic. And let's pin the mirror.
Darnold to throw again. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now Darnold. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go.
Throwing again is Darnold. Throw left side complete. It's Chandler. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
I'm trying to collect. Alert 3. Alert 3. Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4. Let's go, baby. Turn over. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Mike 54. Mike 54. So don't say nothing.
And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Giants are going to get the football back. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it.
Ready.
This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
Charlie.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53. Coming.
Snap.
Operating from the gun. Lawrence looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 44. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep it tight.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers. as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Second down and 10. Darnold. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
Watch the slant. Check. Young lady. Check.
Now Johnson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Jets on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Darnold from the gun. With a catch made by Johnson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Check out. Young lady. Check.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On 2nd and goal, Darnold. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3 and out. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
52's the mic. Check. 52's the mic. It's going to be like that.
On 2nd down now. It's Johnson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Come on, D. 54 Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The the other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. They'll run it out of the gun with Hill.
Lockdown, baby. You ain't got the key to this one.
Keep playing hard.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and this was truly a total team.